Justice, you got Uber. Let's see. Okay.
Right there.
Justice, what if the market's along? Why do you keep doing this every day with the lazy watch list? Morty, no watch list. Gaurav, no watch list. Guillermo, no watch list. Jason. What's going on, folks? Hey, Aviv, what's going on in Jerusalem? My man. Hey, so we're getting a little bit of a shred zone in the markets right now. I didn't really see any news beyond the typical whatever rates, this, that. I know you're in Georgia, but aren't you a man of the people, of the tribe? How it just takes a few years in America for you to forget your roots. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. Let's get to work. So we got a gap down in the markets. This is not necessarily anything too crazy. I mean, it is in the realm of volatility. We have basically this zone here, which would be a retest. So this would be the day the CPI came out. We're retesting this day. If this day holds, then, we may have something that, bounces and lasts for a little bit. Now, we don't have any indication that's going to be the case. But we do have to have that into a cards, as we do have our MA starting to point up. Market breadth has improved considerably. So now what we need to do is see if this area holds. And if it does, then, we'll have some fun. If not, then really it's going to be, it'll be a weird end of the year, because if we don't hold this CPI low, we'll probably just get back and be stuck in a range. It doesn't even mean that we're going to break down. Most likely it means that we're just going to be in a range. And there's no worse spot than to be in a range, right? That's like sitting in the back seat of your buddy's Volkswagen. Never fun. Good. Let's get to work here. All right, cool. Beyond that, let's take a look at the SPYs over here. You can see it's just resting on the 9 EMA. Remember, the CPI low will be important. You may come back and fill some of these areas because we've also came up a long way. Pulling back a little bit is not really a huge deal. Look at how much we've come up. This is a Dow. This is 60 points on the DIA, right? So coming back down 2-3 points doesn't change the structure of what's happening of the last, 2-3 weeks. But we do just have to be mindful that there are certain levels that need to be held, or at least close to it. Now let's take a look at the earnings plays. Before we even get into that, let's take a look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA announced their earnings, pretty weak open, and we've seen this actually do these kind of reversals quite a bit. See this day here, NVIDIA popped down $5-6 and actually ended up finishing green. We've seen this kind of action on it a few times, where you do get a fugazi. The actual reaction to the earnings is pretty light. One of the reasons it's just really light, though, you can't expect a huge reaction out of something that's already gone from 108 to 168. That's 60 points on 100. That's 60%, right? So it's already had a 60% move. Now they announced their earnings, and it's a little bit of a nothing burger, but that's to be expected because it's already had this anticipation kind of run up move. But that's something that we'll have to keep an eye on today. That'll be in play. And so we want to, see which way this thing starts to settle at the open. It may actually go red to green. We don't necessarily know. Baba had their earnings out. EPS slightly better. Revenues in line. And then they announced some big stock buyback, which is the stupidest thing for companies to do, but yet they keep doing them. So I believe it's a $15 billion buyback, which would be maybe 7% of their market cap, give or take. 7 to 8% of their market cap. So that'll be something to kind of also be mindful of. They got their earnings out, so we'll want to watch this today to see how this thing starts to go. Like, does it hold this 50 or does it come back and fill this gap into the, the 70s? A bunch of grocery stores and retail companies also announced their earnings. So you had BJ's, right? BJ's had gapped up, but it's already fading off. This one does have like a pretty good ATR, on most days. So like, some of these earnings days, you may get some movement on it. It trades a little bit thin at times. Bath and Body Works, it has a 17% gap up on post lower Q3 results, raised out revenue outlook, blah, blah, blah. So this has also probably got a potential if the market can hold up. We haven't traded that one in quite some time, so we'll have to kind of be mindful of that. Oh, Cisco was the other one. Cisco announced you got a flag break here, there, right? You got a bunch of kind of price target movements here. Cisco adjusted EPS revenue company boost 2023 outlook. So this is a tech bellwether. If you start to see this thing trending towards the 200 SMA, maybe that'll put a little spark in tech stocks, but we haven't seen it yet. Apple's getting dusted. Everything's really getting dusted off. So we'll have to take that with a grain of salt. I think this Kalik also is getting smoked out. This is a semiconductor one too. So that I think semis are going to be in play today. They're all gapping down. You got AMD, Kalik, right? NVIDIA there, the whole sector itself is getting a little bit smashed out. So we'll have to kind of see how this 9 EMA holds on the SMH. NVIDIA will be the tell, and then we'll see like what's going on. Sonos also had earnings out. You can see here, you got a little bit of a rounding pattern. This thing trades a little bit thin, just like NetEase. They both trade really, really thin. So you can add these, but you want to make sure that it fires up at least like 500,000 shares, in the morning on so you got the liquidity, and then you can see like what goes on. GLB, you don't want to play any of this shit. We got BBI already. Macy's is holding up here. You do have a level here at 21.75 too. You can maybe put an alert there. If it starts to push through there, then that could be something. Hey, JMIA, the GOAT. JMIA, the GOAT, man. There was no better time in life than when JMIA was going. I think we actually add this. This is probably not the market for this, but this is just, it used to be an old friend of ours. Add it. For old time's sake, for airballs and all our fallen soldiers. And there's been a lot of them, all the Indians that have come and gone, airballs who may have had to go get a job for all we know, and so many more. Remember Sanjay, Harish, Harold and Kumar, Sanjay and DJ Mitesh? Man, fallen soldiers. The 2022 bear market has taken a lot of souls, a lot of good Indian souls. Dun, 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 UVXY, these are all inverse ETS. Okay, not too much on the Gap City life. Hey, edit. I just got some news out here. And you got this like kind of break into lows. I actually like these kind of setups, like when they have like this kind of base and then they're gonna like bust really big time in. I don't know what kind of liquidity this thing has, but that's like a key breakdown if it ends up getting the volume. SI, I think, watch yesterday's lows. We may have to take this thing off right off at the bat. Hey, Mr. Terry, how are you? Add SI and COI. Both of these are ready to break down their bear flag. They both have the look. Yeah, we got to keep hammering them. I wish this SI didn't do such a fugazi. All right. Hey, Mr. Jones, let's take a look at FSLR. Yeah, you did get a little bit of a reversal candle. Watch this 9 EMA. If it breaks under, then you'll probably have kind of a failed move. This is the kind of market where, like, if you see breakouts, they do tend to kind of roll over. So you want to kind of short into the strength and then let it fizzle out. But you have the right mindset of this. Mr. Ray McD. Man, what a name. With a name like that, you're going places, sir. Casa Azul. This is the South American Airlines. You can see this is Vietnam. All junk. All right, so these Chinese stocks are getting smoked. Man, this is setting up to be a nasty day. Who shit on the market? You know what? There's like fucking 5 Fed speakers today, so expect all sorts of fugazis today. Let me see if I can remember exactly who's on at what time. Hold on one sec. Fed speakers: Raphael Bostic, 7:30. James Bullard at 8. Miss Bowman, 9:15. Loretta Meester, 9:40. Neil Kashkari, the bane of all Indians. We kicked him out of our team. He's at 10:40. He's been no good. So you got 5 scheduled speakers. And they've been doing this, right? They go on these little tours, and it's like Bang Bros in a bus. They just keep going, running around, talking the whole day, and you'll see all this action, all these fugazis in the market. So we'll have to see what goes on. Looks like somebody probably took a little bit of a shit on these things. We'll see what's going on. I think top plays, we still want to do coin. We still want to do SI on the short side. Look, SI, like, they kind of pre-announced their earnings into the close and spiked this thing. I was hoping for a gap up for us to short it. We would have had ourselves the trade of trades. I was even checking in the morning, but we didn't get the gap up. We'll see how it reacts around this kind of 26.50 from yesterday. Ideally, we're going to need a pop at the open because the SSR is going to be on this thing. So you're not going to be able to short it on the bid. And they're going to yank it at a weird spot. So we do got to be like super careful with this. Keep your 4% breakdown and breakdown scanners going during the trading day today. What I mean by that is that there were quite a few midday PR plays out yesterday. We were playing this fucking D-Lo yesterday, like midday PR. And these are the ones, like, this is where you can make your week or month, right? Like these midday PRs, you can really get them going. You can run 2 different things. You can keep your top loser liquid gainer scans going. You can do a 4% change from the open, or you can run like a volume alerts, right? You can run volume alerts conditions, or set alerts on them. So say see how you have like mixed time frame, single time frame, mixed time frame, right? So on and so forth. So like you can set in, volume alerts, scanners and stuff like that too. Like if something just comes out of the ordinary. And what you can do is so say you have like a volume alerts scanner. You can apply it to like individual lists in your TC 2000. So say you have US common stocks here. So this is the 6,934 names, right? Now you can run individual conditions throughout it, right? And then you can go in and, have this thing like refresh, like say every 30 seconds. And you can keep that going on, a particular page or a particular layout. That way you start to get into these things. Or you can just have like a news feed scanner. They got Benzinga Trade Exchange. There's a million of those. You can see this is midday. And I fucked this thing up. I had fucking took this thing for like a hot second right here. Yeah, I was like, it's a chase. And I got multitasking something else and I fucking covered it. But these midday plays have been going like crazy. So we do want to keep an extra diligence beyond like what we're normally doing, because when you start to see this kind of midday stuff, that's when the action is really, really good. So let's keep everything running during the day. We want to be a part of these. This type of stuff makes your month. Yesterday was a lot of yesterday was just a lot of damn fun. And this is probably a day 2 play. It had really good range yesterday, a little bit thin sometimes, but it ended up doing 6 million shares. This is something like if you break down the previous day's lows, I think this one's going to have range. Like from VWAP down to here was like 7-8 points. It has the ability to actually move pretty good. I would keep this on watch for a day 2. This daily chart's at a good location, right? And so when you have a good location, a breakdown, and then you got a PR, like you have its earnings down, you can get a nice day 2 out of something like that. Man, Bob was already going to be fading up. Good coin. And I'd also, you can also keep some conditions running on your flag list. So what I've been doing is, when the market's hot, and you can reverse it too, right? So like, say you got your flag symbols, then run condition inside your flag symbols where like you can open in. So like, I put high of day scanner on it. You can put a, high of day and keep a second one for low of days, right? So you've got your list, like say you've got whatever, 30, 40 names going in. Now you can run like, so I do 0.995 would be 0.5% away from your intraday high. And then you do the reverse on the downside. Now you've got a larger list of names you're watching. You can at least get like a constant reminder. You can set alerts and stuff on what's hitting near low before the breakdown or before the breakout, right? And so especially on a day where the market's down like 3-4% or 2% at the open, it's nice to run those, put those conditions in, and then you'll kind of have a constant feed on your watch list of like things that are going off. Does that make sense? Now you lazy bums will probably just wait for me to tell you what's happening, but for you enterprising people, that's a nice way to do things. All right. Mother lover Jones. Hey, it's just a little bit of practice, mother lover. Hey, Arvin, are you back from Costa Rica? Yes, this Netflix is still rolling over. I think I wish it didn't gap up so much or gap down so much. I've been staring at this thing for days to short it. Whatever. Oh, Toronto. Do you know, Arvin, do you ever run into the memory foam god? Vikram? He's like one of our good students. He's actually really good. He's in Toronto. He's probably in Brampton with all the other Indians. Yeah, we call him the memory foam lord because his dad owns all the mattress stores. Good. All right, let's get back into this here. Hey, if we need some longs at some point, these China stocks, I want you to add in SE. This had a huge pop. Usually when they do 30, 40 million shares on the earnings days, would see like how it's like totally out of the norm. That's usually something that's really good. So if we need some longs today, we go SE. We want to hit these stocks that had like really positive earnings where you had like a 10x volume day, right? Anytime you have a break and you got like a 10x volume day and you're breaking over some key levels, you want to keep an eye on that for the next week or two. If we need a long, we go SE, we go DOX, and then there's like a couple of these things, right? This TME had 30, 40 million shares in volume this particular earnings day, and it just like really trended. It had an inside day yesterday, which is fine. It's actually pretty bullish. And then Huya did the same thing, right? Like, see, this volume just comes out of nowhere, and this is a big break. So we want to come in on some of these names, DOX, Huya, SE, any of those bad boys. We should be good to go. Our main shorts, coin, SI, right? And then we want to mess around with NVIDIA today. Good, 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 good. And then, fuck, I mean, after that, we'll see what's up. That's the list. I'm sticking to it. Sergey, what's going on, baby? Oh, good night. All right, rock and roll. That's the list. I'm sticking to it. Let's get to it. Yeah, this will have a chance, but it might not be the day for it. We'll have to see how the rest of the retail sector goes. The thing with the retail sector is like Walmart had a nice reaction to their earnings, and then fucking Target took it down. So we've got a little bit of a mixed bag. Now, Am is saying, hey, things start getting better. So, some of these some of these companies are getting hit on supply chain and inflation issues, but then some of them are actually taking advantage of it. So that's what Macy's said was, we planned around it, and Walmart basically said the same thing. Yeah, we can mess with D-Lo too. Watch a little bit around this 10 spot. They may do a Fugazi today, so you got to be a little bit careful. I really hate shorting things that are down like 30, 40 points in a couple days. It really gets tricky. This thing gave some sick opportunities yesterday, though. That's the thing. We'll have to keep scanning for midday news. These things are getting hit. Good. All right, let's have some fun today. Alfonso, ¿cómo está usted? All right, fuck it. We got things to do. I'll be in the chat room. Hey, for any of you guys, we've got Black Friday, black stuff going on. You can go in, renew or start new. We got new classes starting. Next boot camp starts December 1st. Deals on the chat room and all that kind of fun stuff. I'll be in the Discord room too. We're done trading. As I always say, I hope lunch, but seems like lately we've been staying a lot longer. Let's go do this.